Good morning, afternoon, evening, and happy new year, everyone. Welcome to Soul Coffee, the only podcast in the world dedicated to caffeinating the soul of the exhausted healthcare provider. My name is Dr. Jamal Cortez, and I am your host. Over the last several years, I've helped coach, taken care of, trained physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, hundreds and hundreds of healthcare professionals, students, functional medicine doctors, chiropractors, medical doctors, nurses, and more alike. And I'm so excited to be able to pour into you as I'm just charged up for this year, man. I'm charged up for this year. We got the sexy guitar in the back. We got Sunshine. Say hello to Sunshine. But a quick question for y'all. Have the holidays ever been rough for you? Is Christmas, is the New Year, Thanksgiving, that whole back end of the year? How was that for you? Because if it's been rough, if it's been dark, if it's brought a lot of pain, shadow, discomfort, frustration, anger, I get it and I'm with you. As this episode is for you to be able to breathe some life into you of integration, of more peace after the holidays. As those who've been following my story the last several years, I am happy to share I had the best Christmas of my life this last year, and the last several have been really, really painful. I didn't really know what it meant before when people had a rough time during the holidays, or the holidays aren't bright for everybody. And I got an idea of that in grad school, going through some death with some friends and some brothers and holding space for them. But experiencing that within my own system after my abuela passed, rest in power, this February, as that was an important catalyst, as my family got to spend and exchange gifts for the first time in 8 years together, as my mom, my dad, and my sister. Shout out to Ren, as she's going to be coming to Tucson, and I'm hella excited. That's hella exciting. But there came a point where we were exchanging gifts, like the Saturday before Christmas, and mom was chilling in the recliner. I was posted up on the couch. Ren was next to me, and Pops was wheeling and dealing gifts. And it just came a point where I just realized it, like, oh, like, this is it. Like, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. And it's the best when you've been thinking of something for years. For like this, I've been putting energy to this for years, y'all, like years. And I had forgotten that I think due to needing to be focused and serving my people in Tucson, and then, finally getting home and finally, being there back in Connecticut, and then it just hits you all at once. And the beautiful thing is, I think when you've intended something and you've efforted to put clean energy and show up consistently and be patient, which is one of the, I think, keys to this episode, it can go beyond your imagination. And go beyond your imagination, like of how good that goal, that outcome, that reconnection, that coming back from an estranged sibling, that connection to a family member, that connection to yourself, it feels so rich. So what I want to offer in this episode to everyone that's listening is that you can do it too. Because there have been so many Christmases where it was painful going back home, knowing that I held and I carried a lot of guilt and a lot of shame of past relationship, or ways that I've shown up in an unintegrated, in a non-conscious way, and feeling the ramifications of that, and just being really, really present to that, like taking a really, really good look in the mirror of a lot, and being able to deal with the pain. As I think one of the important things that came from a New Year's Eve retreat, which more on that in depth later, but just know the last few years I've sat with some very important friends of mine. We've been to Joshua Tree. We were in Zion in 2022, and then now we were in Sedona. And one of my friends said, oh yeah, my hip's really been bothering me. It's been giving me a lot of problems. And what I want to offer as a reframe for y'all mind is that the ways in which your body may be communicating to you and your mind may be communicating to you aren't actually problems, but instead they're opportunities. Opportunities for us to listen deeper, opportunities for us to pay attention, opportunities for us to connect deeper and take a good look internally. As the physical sensations you're experiencing, the emotions that you're experiencing, and the stimuli that can present to you that can send you into a stress state, whatever the trigger is, can be a great opportunity for you to be able to come back home through efforting to understand what are your needs, what does this come up for you, what does this bring up for you, and how can I be able to allocate my resources, my presence, and utilize my mind, which is how we think, feel, choose, and perceive, to be able to shift this so that way I can use it as ore, as ammo, to come back to a state of curiosity, to come back to a state of parasympathetic. As I think our mind is one of our greatest things. And when it comes to navigating the holidays, when it comes to navigating whatever the stimulus is for you, use what happened in my life as ammo that you can do it too, whatever it looks like or whoever it is with. As one thing that I think is important as a healthcare professional, as a human, is the ability to sit with and or feel the pain. I learned this lesson when I dislocated my elbow, and of course it was painful. I'm very aware of what a 10 out of 10 feels like on a scale. There's no question. But I did not want to feel the pain. Like as soon as I got there, they tried to rush to give me painkillers, and I was like, nah, I want to make sure I feel this. And when the medical doctor reduced the elbow back, or my ulna back into my humerus, definitely some movie shit, but I think it's important because the pain is God-given. The pain is innate to us. It's a great mechanism because if we didn't feel pain, then we wouldn't know what to pay attention to and how we need to shift and adapt our expression. So if the holidays have been hard for you, I want to encourage you to be able to get present to, well, what is this doing for me? What's the lesson here? I don't say that loosely, as it will require, more work. And I offer, find a support, whether it be a coach, whether it be a therapist, whether it be a mentor, but find someone who's gone through something similar that you have, that is a professional in dealing with that. Or of course, find someone that can help you co-regulate and take care of your nervous system, take care of your body. And I only offer that because if we can understand and apply a polyvagal way of living, which is coming back from a stress state to a relaxed state, well, now at least we are in a state of being that is literally more relaxed versus in an attack to ourselves or an attack to our environment around us, or that's shut down. Because if we're shutting down or if we're in a stress state, then our resources will be more, I'll say, scarcely expended. And in times of the holidays, one of our greatest resources is our presence. One of our special powers or superpowers as a human being is our presence. And it's all for you. That's the thing too. Like, it's your energy is the medicine. Your presence is your power. And it's for you. But can you be in your body as you're navigating through family dinner or going back home? Or do you disassociate? Do you leave your body? Do you shut down? Do you go right into a vigilant state and go into protection state? What state do you get into when you are home? What are the triggers? What are the triggers? Is it environmental? Is it a sound? Is it a smell? What's the memory that it brings you back to? And I always got to mention Dr. Caroline Leaf's work, Neurocycle, in cleaning up your mental mess. I think every human needs to read that, and I'm excited to do more solo episodes based around that work as well too. As the power of journaling is one thing I mentioned in the last episode, but being able to gather, reflect, write, recheck, and apply these principles of directed neuroplasticity is quite literally leveraging your mind to change your mind. And that's a really beautiful thing. You can use your mind to change your mind. Dr. Caroline Leaf. And that's one of my favorite quotes because it's so simple, yet it is being demystified. And in her work, she does such a great job with that because when you can, stay with me, y'all, stay with me. When you can utilize your mind, you can shift your brain. When you can shift your brain, you can shift your body. When you can shift your body, you can shift your health. And when you can shift your health, you can shift your life. But it starts with the mind. The mind creates matter. It's not mind over matter. It's mind through matter. Your mind is an accumulation of your energy, and it's how we think, feel, perceive, and choose. So if you can be in a, I'll say, more sustainable energy, it'll lead to a more sustainable expression in your brain, which is the receiver, which will then communicate and it will conduct to all of the trillions of cells in your body in accordance and in coordination, then based upon the status of your body as a unit and what chinks in the armor, whether it's your that low back pain you experience, your migraines, your headaches, your asthma, whatever it is, pay attention to it, because then when you can understand how that's shifting, it can get to a more sustainable space. Now you can impact your health in a more sustainable way. You're driving your life expression, and that's that final point. It's your quality of life, because it's all about your quality of life. It's all about you. So if the holidays are challenging for you, I imagine that there's big medicine there. Like, there's big lessons there. There's big charge there. And our families oftentimes hold some of the most powerful lessons for us, because typically they're not going anywhere. And in some realm, shape, or form, I imagine this is just hard to kind of grasp around. I encourage you to fall back into I'll say a spiritual or, a religious practice, and remember that you're a part of something that's massive, and there's a big plan that is going on. Even if you can't see it in the ego or in the separate self, the individual, there's been this poetry, there's been this masterpiece, there's been this musical that's been crafted, and you're player one. You're the main actor. You got this. You got this. And if you haven't ever gone to a house in some different kind of space, like with some of the favorite people in the world, I highly recommend that. So shout out to all my people, as we got to mastermind, we got to celebrate, we got to laugh, y'all. Got into nature, danced, sang, fire chiropractic adjustments, ceremony, good food, some more, all the pet cuddles as well too. So I highly encourage that, to implement some sort of recuperative practice or celebration with some of your loved ones, because oh man, it's just good medicine for the soul, like actual medicine. No need for manipulation of biochemistry here, baby. But other than that, I'm very excited, of course, to start this thing off right. Hella excited to get this episode up. For any of my people here in Tucson, we got Breaths of Awakening, middle of January, second Wednesday, you already know. Next Providing for the Provider is going to be February 10th. If you listen to this episode and you want to sign up, the link will be in the description of the show notes as well too. And I'm just hella excited, y'all. Once more, if y'all have any recommendations for guests, please send them my way. I'm really looking forward to diving in, as I got a treat for y'all this year, man. I got a treat for y'all, and it's important to start this off right. So, hey, if this resonated with you, if you know someone else that was like, man, fuck the holidays, man, well, just know, hey, share this episode with them. Let me know if things resonate, and man, until next time, peace.